Everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the January book review video. I was very busy in November and December and did not read a lot of books, and that is why I did not film anything. But this year I'm starting fresh. Last year I read about 40 books and I did not meet my target of 60, but then 40 is good than any other year I have had so far. So this year I started off fairly decent in January. I read six books. I only have three with me today. One of the six books was in the audiobook format, and rest are physical, but I just don't have them with me. So let's get started. So the very first book I started was The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. This is her first book for me. I know Magnolia Parks is quite famous in the book community, but I have not read it. So this is the first book, and I really enjoyed reading it. I've rated it 3.9. This year I've started thinking more about how I want to rate each book. So it's not just a random rating whether I enjoyed it or not. This time I'm thinking about the plot, whether I cried, whether it is memorable for me, or whether I'm learning something and things like that. So based on that, this book is 3.9. Romance book usually does not cross 4 for me, or it is just like 4. I can't remember a romance book having like a plain romance book. Romantasy is a different thing, but a plain romance book having 5 star ever. So 3.9 is a very good rating. I really enjoyed reading it. It has sort of the instant love trope, uh, and it was well written. I listened to audiobooks. It was quite quick. I enjoyed reading it. It's not difficult to understand, and I would definitely pick more books by this author. So I had read half of this book in December, but I completed it in January. That's why I have included it here. The second book that I read was The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. So I have read all the books in the Robert Langdon series by Dan Brown. So this is not the first by the author. Actually, I've read only Robert Langdon series by this author. I've not read any of his other works, and I've rated this 4 star. So I've noticed that all of the books in this series takes place in one of the European cities. So one was in Spain, one was in Vatican, and so on. And following the trend, this book takes place in Prague. So you get to know a lot about the Prague architecture, the important buildings, the tourist buildings, and things like that. It was very well written, no doubt about it. The only thing is, compared to all the other books in the series, I did not enjoy the ending that much, or I kind of predicted the ending halfway through the series, which is not really a bad thing, but compared to other books in the series where I got a very surprising ending, very well explained, and something that I couldn't think of, this did not hit me that much, and I could not relate a lot of it. Rest of the book is very well written until half midway through, where I'm still thinking, what is this book about? It was really good, but then the later half, I already knew the conclusion. I was just trying to understand how this must have occurred. This is still a good read. This is a 4 star read. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed all the architectural description, all the mystery, and Robert Langdon's expertise in symbolism that is definitely still there in the book. Then the third book I finished was Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Caravel series. I read the first one last year and I really enjoyed it. Again, I listened to it on Audible and I gave this 3.6. In the first book, we uh, read the story of one of the main characters, Scarlett, and this book continues with her sister's story, Donatella, and it's a really good build up. I am currently reading or listening to the third book, and the third book is definitely much better, that being the last. Let's say compared to the first one where it was all new, the quest was new. Scarlett gets into this quest and she wins it, and more or less the same thing is happening with her sister. So that is why it was an average book for me. So I've rated it as 3.6. It is still good. The situations are different and I really enjoyed it. Then the fourth book I read was White Nights by Dostoevsky. This is so it has other two stories also, but the main story, which covers like three-fourth of the book, is White Nights. I had seen some video where they said if you want to start with Dostoevsky, you should start with White Nights. It is easier to understand. It is shorter book compared to Crime and Punishment. It's a really short book, so I finished it within 2 to 3 days. It was a really good read. and I have rated it 3.8. Now, there is nothing wrong with the book. The book has a very simple story. This book follows two people and their story over a period of a year, I believe. And there are very less characters, so it is easy to follow. So I think I need to read it a couple of times to understand the essence of the story. So right now I've read it just as a simple novel, simple story. It is a good story, and based on that I've rated it 3.8. But to really understand the essence of the story, I think I need to deep dive into this. So nothing wrong with the book, it's a good read, and probably this year, next year, I will read it, reread it, and then maybe my rating will change. Then the next book I read was Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. This is her second book for me. I have read Yellowface, I think last year or the year before that, and I had really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Catabasis more because it really has the essence of fantasy, a little subplot about romance, magic, dark academia, quest to hell, and they've shown magic in a really different form, a more practical way to believe. Though I did not understand a lot of scientific things that they have mentioned here, I still enjoyed reading it. It was a quick read. It is about 550 pages, I believe. It's, yeah, it is roughly about 550 pages, but still a quick read. The fonts are very decent. And if you've seen my other videos, you know by now, I really enjoy turning pages faster. So the bigger the font, the easier it is to read. I really like the books that much. The story, of course, the story was definitely good, very unique plot, and a different take to dark academia, I would say. Uh, it is not exactly a dystopian world, but also not a regular world. So, yes, something different. I really enjoyed it. 4 star. The last book that I read in January was The Alchemist. This is one of the books that gets suggested even by non-readers because I think The Secret, The Alchemist, these are the books that everyone starts their reading with, but I hadn't read it at all. So this month I just saw it in a store and I picked it up and I read it. It's a very short book, so definitely beginner friendly. And the story follows a shepherd boy and his quest to reach a treasure. And basically, the book tells us to follow our dreams. There will be different obstacles in our journey of finding this treasure, but we should not give up like the shepherd boy, and definitely we will be able to find our treasure. I really enjoy reading such books where I can learn something, but at the same time, it is not like the typical non-fiction self-help books. So yes, I read 6 books and it was a great start to the new year. I hope I will be able to continue this momentum for the rest of the year. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have read any of these books and if your ratings are different than mine. Let me know what you liked or disliked in these books. Thank you. See you in the next video.